it looks like a key decision has been made in Washington. Right now, the United States is deploying those very same B-2 stealth bombers of the United States Air Force to the Middle East, which are capable of striking deeply protected bunkers and underground facilities. With guided bomb unit 57 bombs. It is with such bombs, supposedly, that the United States could destroy Iran's nuclear facility in Fordo. And such a large-scale redeployment is happening against the backdrop of news that the latest attempt by Trump and Erdogan to contact Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has failed, as he simply disappeared. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has already announced the list of his successors. As flight tracking data showed, B-2 bombers today, on June 21st, took off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri with aerial refueling support, with the help of 8 KC-135 Stratotanker refueling aircraft. The aircraft headed toward Diego Garcia, a strategic United States military base in the Indian Ocean, from where the United States has already threatened to strike Iran. My name is Alexei Pichi, and it's still June 21st on the calendar. Let's discuss this topic together and break everything down. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, like this episode, and leave any comment you want. Subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pichi News, link in the video description. There we post breaking news as it comes in, and I also share my analytical notes there. So, flight tracking data shows that 2 groups of 4 aerial tankers each took off from the United States today and joined up with B-2 bombers over Kansas. The B-2 aircraft used the call sign MYT-21, which was previously associated with stealth bomber missions. Such a deployment of B-2 is happening during a larger movement of American military assets toward Europe and the Middle East. Let me remind you that in the past 2 weeks, dozens of American aircraft have been deployed to the region, including fighters, tankers, and so-called surveillance platforms. Moreover, 2 United States Navy supercarriers are also operating on the front lines along with other naval and air forces. And of course, friends, I talked in more detail about the redeployment of aviation and the fleet in previous episodes, showing maps, numbers, and how all of this is happening. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to do it, and right now you can go watch the previous episodes on this topic to be fully up to date. And here I want to pause on one very important point, which might seem insignificant, but in reality, it's closely connected to the redeployment of United States aviation to the Middle East region. The thing is, the recent strike by the Israel Defense Forces on the heavy water reactor in Iraq not only neutralized such a symbolic nuclear asset, but also cleared the way to a much more important target: Israel's dominance in the air over southern Iran, where some of the country's most fortified and strategically important facilities are located, including the underground enrichment plant near Fordo. In addition to establishing control over the skies of southern Iran, Israel's air forces continue to clear out air defense facilities and systems in central Iran. I will now quote a statement from the command of the Israeli Air Forces. In recent days, fighter jets have attacked Iranian missile and radar systems in the Isfahan and Tehran areas, which were intended to target Israel Defense Forces aircraft and prevent their attacks. This attack expands the Israel Defense Forces' freedom of action in Iranian airspace after the breakthrough in Tehran. Israeli Air Force fighter jets and aircraft continue to operate freely in Iranian airspace, attacking military targets of the Iranian regime in western and central Iran. The Israel Defense Forces will continue to work on increasing freedom of action in Iranian skies and achieving air superiority. As German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said the day before, Israel is now doing the dirty work before American heavy bombers appear in the skies over Iran, which will no longer face any threats from the ground. In addition, Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz stated that he has instructed the Israel Defense Forces to intensify strikes on regime targets in Tehran in order to destabilize the Iranian regime. Quote, "We must strike at all symbols of the regime and its mechanisms of oppression, such as the Basij, as well as at the regime's base of power, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps." AKADS also stated that Israel should carry out a mass evacuation of the population from Tehran in order to destabilize the regime and strengthen deterrence in response to rocket attacks on Israel's civilian population. We continue to target facilities and scientists to disrupt Iran's nuclear program until all the objectives of the operation are fully achieved. And now let's get back to the redeployment of American bombers. The B-2 is designed for long-range strike missions and is capable of delivering both conventional and nuclear weapons. It is the only American aircraft specifically designed to penetrate heavily defended targets, such as underground facilities. And the presence of 8 tankers supporting this mission indicates an extended range operation. Although the United States Department of Defense has not officially confirmed the destination or objective, the scale and coordination of the flight suggest a pre-planned deployment. At present, there are no signs, of course, of an imminent strike. However, the timing of this move is significant considering the current tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear program and the United States' position in the region. This is also significant in light of recent news about attempts at negotiations between the United States and Iran. The fact is, as I mentioned in the previous episode, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has unexpectedly disappeared and is not making contact. Meanwhile, American President Trump was trying to establish a line of communication with Tehran through Turkish President Erdogan. But any attempts at negotiations with Iran failed when Iranian officials stated that Khamenei is unable to speak with anyone. And it was during this period that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced a list of successors to the supreme leader of Iran in the event of his death. Amid this backdrop, Europe also declared that negotiations with Iran had utterly collapsed. Because it's not clear at all who exactly should be spoken to right now and who actually represents real power in Iran at the moment. Because in Tehran itself they claim that the 86-year-old Khamenei is alive. But he's so frightened that he simply doesn't leave his protected bunker and refuses to use gadgets or any kind of communication, which cuts him off from the outside world. And a bit more context. The B-2 is a long-range stealth bomber operated by the United States Air Force. It is designed to penetrate modern air defense systems and deliver both conventional and nuclear weapons. The aircraft is capable of flying more than 11,000 kilometers without refueling. Its stealth profile allows it to avoid radar detection, making it suitable for high-risk strike missions against well-protected targets. The B-2 has been in service since the late 90s and plays a key role in long-range strategic operations. The B-2 is equipped to carry the guided bomb unit, 57 U-57 massive ordnance penetrator, heavy precision bombs designed to destroy deeply buried targets. This weapon, weighing almost 14 tons, can penetrate layers of soil, rock, and reinforced concrete. Before detonation, the bomber can carry 2 such munitions at the same time, allowing it to strike fortified structures in a single sortie. This capability gives the B-2 a unique role in targeting underground facilities that are beyond the reach of conventional bombs or cruise missiles. Several Iranian nuclear facilities, including the Fordo site, are located underground and protected by layers of reinforced material. And it is believed that these facilities are beyond the reach of most types of air-delivered weapons, except for those carried by aircraft like the B-2. And now the deployment of these very aircraft to the Diego Garcia base suggests that the Americans are getting closer and closer to direct involvement in this war. I'll leave it at that for now. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like the video. If you want to support the work of this channel, you can do so financially by donating through the links and details in the description of this video or by using the quick response code on your screen. That's all for now. Take care. Goodbye, everyone. Subtitles created by